Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as one of the YouTube channels I follow says, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to this video. This one's going to be about painting this, I call it my blue trees or my blue forest painting. This is a painting I did from another YouTube channel's instruction, or one of the step-by-steps that they had. I, of course, will leave the link down below in all the description so you can find the original and you can watch how I learned from it as well. So there you go. You can run off to the video now if you want to watch it. The conclusion part that I would say, the reason I wanted to do this is I've been doing masks in, so we can put that down. So I've been doing masks in watercolor for a little bit and playing with it, and this was a technique that I was interested in doing, which was can you mask on top of paint. So you'll notice the trees are white, light blue, and then darker blue as they go into fade into the background. That was done by using masks over the paint. So look at the video, check it out, you'll see how that's done. Alright, great. Like the video, give me comments, suggestions of anything else you want me to do. Subscribe if you feel up to it, that would be great. Beyond that, we'll see you the next time. Alright, so this is an idea. I had a question. So here's some masking fluid. We're going to do another play with masking. I'll give you the link. But I just had the thought, can I actually mask on top of watercolor paint and preserve some of that paint below? And the answer, according to this video I've watched and I'm trying to reproduce, is yes, you actually can. So let's give it a try is basically what I'm doing here now. It's like, so currently I'll be quiet and I'm just painting mask on. I sketched a few tree shapes in the background and I'm just masking them out. And you know, I didn't give myself a lot of detail, so I get to play with the detail now. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure to wash the brushes off really well, because I don't want to get that stuck on it. I'm going to take a look at this, see if it's doing kind of what I want. It is. I did forget one thing, which is just to add a few highlights for the snow. And then the last bit was to mask out some white paper spots. Our mask is dry, and now we're just going to paint a very light blue everywhere. So we've got that blue down and it's dry. Now I'm going to add a few more trees in here. These are intended to be trees in the background. Apologies if lifting this makes it hard for you to see. I'm just trying to figure out where I have mask. And I think some of these are going to be twigs off in the distance that don't actually connect. Okay, so let's wash the brush off really well, and I'll be back. Oh, right, I forgot the highlights down here. Okay, now we're going to wash off the brush and let everything dry. Okay, so now we've got a darker wash, and we're just going over this. Now the light color will be the color of these trees. This wash will be the color of the next trees. Now we want to make sure it's darker than what we've got, which I think we've succeeded, right? And we'll let that go for now. I'm going to come back in, you'll see in a minute, and add in some more things here. In the video, let's make sure we add in some horizon. So I'm just pushing this into here, and I'll bring some paint into this is just pushing some things back. I need to make sure everything dries again. So everything's dried off. I actually think I want to do a little, which wasn't part of this yet, but I think a little, just some highlights into this layer with masking. Now we're doing our last group of trees. These trees are more in the background, so they're thinner. They also only come just about to the horizon. You can see I've got a pretty large wash of a much darker blue. We want it to be significantly different so that we can get it in here and everything pops. And we want to make sure it's wet enough that we can get it in between all of our little branches. Stop at the horizon line, or follow along the horizon line, I should probably say better. Now this wasn't done in the video, but I now have a wet on wet background here, and I kind of can't help myself but to just add a little more into it. So I'm going to let that dry. And I guess the last piece is to just follow along where there's some and I'm trying really to put shadows in underneath the blue that's been masked over. But I've got other spots in here that aren't masked, so I want to do a little of both. Alright, let's let everything dry. Alright, so now everything's dried off again. I'm going to remove the mask that I have, wherever it may be. I'm not going to sit and film this. We'll show you what happens after. Like our example, we're not exactly the same, that's fine, right? I've got more white splotches that have come through. If I was going to say anything, I would probably have preferred to, if you see this is the white paper, this is the first wash, I would have liked that to be a little darker. So there was a more distinct difference, but it's not bad. So now I'm trying to get the same dark that we had before, which I'm not sure this is it. Not really, so let's mix up a new one and be right back. Alright, so now we're going to try to play the shadows game. So now we're playing with the trees. Just putting in some detail on the tree. So as I move back to the other trees, I'll use the same brush, I think, but I'm lightening up the wash. Just so I want to dry that up a little bit. Right, so you can see it's a lighter wash. And just a smaller brush. And even, it's not going to be lighter, it's just going to be less. Whether it's going to ruin it or not, I'm going to try just a light gray wash on the shadow side. And some of how the snow is not blending in is bugging me, so I'm going to see about blending some of that a little bit. Alright, I think the last bit is sprinkle in a little white snow. So, I didn't actually show the final bit where, let's make sure it focuses. So I added in some more gouache sprinkles. I also realized something I totally forgot, which was I was going to, instead of painting the pieces around the trunks, I was going to use some sponge and just make what I think would be potentially more generic or less planned. Maybe, I don't know, I think you decide. But I think that, not that that's correct, that's not necessarily what you would want to do, but I think these, if I space them out a little bit up the tree, would be a better way to make the marks. Just a thought. Alright, thanks.